All right, so I'm sure everybody know the saying, it takes money to make money. And I think sometimes, including me, a lot of people overlook that saying and think that it doesn't mean exactly what it means. And until I got to a point in my life where it actually affected me exactly how it sound, I didn't really get it. So I kind of want to start off my YouTube channel with explaining exactly what that phrase mean, because not to say that you don't know what it means, because I mean it's very self-explanatory, but I sometimes it goes over your head because I see a lot of people, and I don't want to pinpoint anyone, but I see a lot of people say, "Oh, you should invest in this. Oh, I'm trying to get passive income. Oh, I'm trying to get this." But these same people don't get money. Period. So it's like you're broke. Like it doesn't make sense for somebody who doesn't have money to be thinking about those things. The best thing for someone who doesn't have money, and this is not to shoot shots, because I was that broke kid trying to find passive income, trying to invest in stocks, trying to put money in a high yield savings account, but I don't have money to do that. So you have to take the first step. Find something that you actually make money in, or build a skill that can bring you revenue. So that's the first step to anything. Don't even worry about all these other different things. Of course, learn, build your knowledge, because when the time does come, it is good to know exactly what you need to do, because I had to learn it the hard way, piece by piece, and I did it all backwards. So I wasn't really taught properly, the whole backstory, but you learn through mistakes, trial and error. But if I can help that one person understand, exactly, somewhat how it go, because it just doesn't work without you having somewhat money. And I get this saying, it take money to make money, because open up a high yield savings account, you would want to leave a decent amount of money in that savings account so it can accumulate over time. But if you don't have a decent amount of money to put into that savings account, it don't make no sense. So when I say that, that's just a small example. So a lot of people be so concerned of how to make so much quickly, and it's like, well, first build a skill and make the first good amount of money, and use that good amount of money to then start to slowly diversify into your portfolio. But until you build that skill, you shouldn't really be worried about anything else. And typically I would say you want to build that skill in your 20s, so when you hit your 30s you can just kind of dial down on that skill and just make yourself better, sharpen the blade. But if you don't do that, it's never too late to start at any age. But that's the way I see success. That's how I would say it. I would say I seen success through building other things, from building a skill. From that skill, I took it and then I invested in other things. And it happened very slow. And that's another thing. Patience is very important to any kind of wealth building. So if you don't have those two ingredients, like a skill that can get you to a point where you're making a decent amount of revenue, and patience, this just isn't going to work. So I wanted this to be my first video on the YouTube channel, because I feel like if I ever get to a point where I'm speaking on things that's a little bit too over people's head, you could always start at the first video, because I'm always going to refer, if you are trying to make money quick, it's probably not going to happen. But if you build a skill, build some revenue, and then you can invest in different things, it'll most likely work. So if you start at that point, then okay, that makes sense. You should. And I'm telling you, it just works out better, because especially if you're not spending all your money on reckless things, and you actually keep a decent amount, like you get paid and you keep a fair amount of your paycheck, that's always a good way to go about it. Put a lot of that in your savings account and let it build up. But you do need that revenue. So I would say start by finding something that you can make a decent amount of money, or building a skill where you can make a decent amount of money. So this is my channel, and if you can subscribe to it, I would greatly appreciate that. Like the video, help me out a bit. See you on the next one.